You won't hear me say that too often. Too many tater tots? I mean, is there such a thing? Jody here. So this whole casserole is based around the potato. Me being from Central Illinois, I love potatoes. It's pretty much part of every meal in my house. You've got your baked potato, you've got your French fry, you've got your tater tot, mashed potatoes, sweet potatoes. Some may argue the French fry is where it's at. Well, let me tell you, in my house, it's all about the tater tot. There's something about a tater tot. It's just this perfect, compact little specimen of a potato. Perfect amount of crust on the outside, soft and squishy on the inside. That balance of crunch to smush is just right, and it's bite size. Just pop it in your mouth. And so many condiments you can play around with. I feel like a fry really limits itself in a way. It wants ketchup, it wants ranch. But the tater tot wants more. So I'm gonna give it to you. A loaded, baked potato skin casserole. Let's go. So I've got 2 bags of tater tots with Ore-Ida. This is not a sponsored episode. I just really love this brand. Ore-Ida is where it's at, okay? We're gonna make our first layer of this casserole with the tater tots. Pour these tots to the bottom. We're gonna really cover this bottom and create a crust. Steve's gonna freak when he sees this. It's one of his favorites. So I just wanna press it down, fill in any gaps so my filling isn't soaking to the bottom. So this is your crust. We all know how much I love cheese. So I'm just gonna top this with a light layer of cheese. Don't worry, I've got more. Light layer. Okay, now as is, I could just throw this in the oven. It would be delicious. But why stop there? Why stop with delicious when I can make a show-stopping casserole? So now I've got a whole bunch of other ingredients, and guess what I'm gonna make? A slurry. Got a big bowl because I've got a lot of slurry to make. So I'm gonna start with my ground beef, 1 pound of ground beef. I've seasoned it with some taco seasoning. So I've just cooked that according to the package instructions. I'm gonna toss that in. Next, I've got 1 full package of bacon, cooked and cut into some bits. Add that. Who doesn't love bacon? All right, let's add some cheese. I'm gonna save a little for the top, so reserve some of that. I was watching this show recently called The Tiger, or the Lion, the bear, I think. There's so much chaos in that show, and there's so many people working in this kitchen. I don't even really know what they're doing. I don't know how they're ever gonna get to a meal, let alone one thing. They're all doing one thing. I think if they just put it all together, they would have a much better turnout, and they could feed a lot more people. I'm not gonna knock that show because it takes place in Illinois. You know, it's central northern Illinois. It's Chicago. You know, we're all kind of one people here in Illinois. So I'm gonna be the tiger here and make this potato. What animals eats? I guess tigers are more carnivores. Well, we've got plenty of meat here for the bear to eat. But you know what else tigers probably love? Scallions, because look at this color. I just grabbed a cream of potato and a cream of chicken. Feel free to use whatever flavor is, you know, jumping out to you. I'm just gonna throw in a whole can. Now this has chunks of potatoes in, so definitely use a cream of potato so you can get a different version of potato, not just the tater tot. Now you've got a boiled potato in here, in your slurry. I'm gonna open the cream of chicken. I think probably stick with these 2 kinds of soup because they make the most sense, but whatever you have in your pantry would probably work. Look at that amazing yellow color. It's like a chicken bouillon mixed into a vanilla pudding. Oh, maybe I'll try that later tonight. I'm always innovating for my fans. Just like that guy in The Bear, you know, it's not about him, it's about the people he serves. And I'm here to serve you. Again, do you think that editing is a little fast? It seems so fast to me. I don't even know how they get to the end, the finished product. So fancy. Now, my last thing, one of my favorites, sour cream. I would typically use this whole thing of sour cream in here because who doesn't love sour cream? But Steve's having a cholesterol issue, so I've had to cut back. He doesn't know it, but you know, my heart's in the right place. His heart is apparently in a very bad place right now, according to his doctor. I went with him to his doctor's appointment, and the doctor said, well, what are you eating? Your cholesterol is so high. And I personally felt like that was directed at me. I felt so attacked. I make sure that he is well taken care of, that he has a balanced diet full of fruits and vegetables and a limited amount of fat. I don't know what that doctor's thinking. Like I said, I'd pretty much put about that whole thing, but there's maybe about 1/4 cup left in there. We're conserving a bit for Steve. I'm gonna let the doctor know that I've cut back. This one's for you, Steve. So now I'm gonna mix this all together. Oh, these colors are just really coming alive. You know, a lot of the PTA moms ask me what my arm workout is, and I just tell them I mix. I fold it in, folding this one in, and it really gets that tricep right there. I can eat the sour cream because you know what else I'm doing? I'm stirring the sour cream. Now you could just enjoy some of this by the spoonful or, you know, with a few chips. I mean, I'm not gonna do that, I'm gonna cook it. But say you just ran out of time and you didn't have 20, 30 minutes to pop it in the oven. Put some chips on the side and just go at it, or a spoon. Now I've also got 1/2 cup of milk here. Some people put this in the beginning to really cool it down. I put it in at the end to see my sour cream to milk ratio, how much I really need. But typically 1/2 cup is good. Put that in. Give it one more good stir. So I've got my tater tot base with my cheese sprinkle on top. I'm gonna take my slurry and take a few plops out. So I'm just gonna smooth this out. Now there's thick slurries and thin slurries. This is gonna be on the thicker side. If you wanna thin yours out a little bit more, add some more milk, but keep in mind it might not set as well. It's just gonna be a runnier slurry, runnier casserole. Okay. Let's add the next layer of tater tots. This is your top crust, your top potato crust. I'm gonna take my cheese and just go ahead and sprinkle that on top. We're gonna throw this in the oven at 375 for about 20, 30 minutes. Yeah. I just want to remind everyone to like and subscribe all my pages. I have some insane casseroles coming up. And if you have any ideas, you know, I always say this, write it in the comments. Tell me what you want to try. If you have a favorite casserole or if there's something you've been dreaming up but just you're too afraid to try it, let me be your guinea pig. I'll try it for you. We're on this journey together. I'm just still reliving the disaster of my White Claw casserole, and people were commenting that it looked like brains, placenta even. I'm sorry if I put you guys through any trauma with that one, because it was a little bit traumatic for me. I have never been one to blame anything on alcohol, but I sort of worked my way through a whole case of White Claw during that episode, and the whole thing was kind of just a blur. If I could do it over, maybe I'd start there. Although it was really fun. I did have to Uber to the PTA meeting. Sandra was not impressed. All right, I'm gonna pull this puppy out of the oven. There's the sizzle of the potato, almost like it's deep fried. How refreshing it is to see just a classic, beautiful, hearty casserole. I'm gonna cut it into a nice chunky square. Whoop. Let's have a look at these layers. Presentation, 11, obviously. The cheese is oozing out. You can still see the layers in there. And we still have this nice crust underneath. I mean, I'm gonna pat myself on the back for this one. It's nice to know that Jody still got it. I'm gonna give it a 14. I mean, on flavor, wow. You guys gotta try this.